Okay, hello everybody, welcome to another TNA review. This is my second review. If you've seen my first review, then you have pretty much seen how I do on my reviews. I take my notes, I read what was said during the show. If I get to a match, I'm just gonna say if I liked it or not, if the match was good, because I'm not gonna go through all the moves that has been done in the match because I don't know all the moves by heart. Okay, so that's how I do it. And that also kind of quickens things up. So let's get right to it, shall we? So as usual, the show opens up with highlights from last week's show. Of course, they were showing the number one contenders match where all the guys were fighting and getting eliminated and stuff. And then the show starts with Matt Hardy coming out, and at this point on, you know that there's gonna be talking, which there was a lot of talking again. But anyways, Matt Hardy says, "This is a protest. The entire Matt Hardy brand is in this ring. The entire Matt Hardy family. All except one member of my family. And that is my brother, the traitor, Jeffrey Nero Hardy. I'm sure that each and every one of you creatures can't wait for little Nickel Nero, the charismatic enigma, to get his shot at the TNA World Heavyweight title. Well, that isn't going to happen. I am the only one that deserves a shot at the TNA World Heavyweight title. I want my rematch, damn it. I am the greatest TNA World Heavyweight Champion in history." No, Bobby Roode is actually, and also the longest, which I think he's gonna be the only one. I honestly don't see them making another wrestler the longest champion. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But anyway, and then Matt says, "And the iconic Matt Hardy is demanding that Dixie Carter and Impact officials award and give me that return match now, now, now." And then the miracle comes out. Of course, Maria calling on introducing Mike Bennett. Maria, by the way, always looks lovely. She always knows. She is definitely, literally a lady that knows how to dress and impress. And if it's one thing I admire so much about a woman is the way she dresses and knows how to dress and the way she carries herself in that what she has on, because not a lot of women know how to do that, because you have all these women, so many women, they dress all this expensive stuff and all of that, but the way they carry themselves, their personality and all just doesn't suit them well, and that's a really big turn off for me. So um I really love the way that Maria dresses and her choice of style of clothing. So she definitely impresses me. But anyways, Mike says, "You all need to relax a little. Seriously, Matt, especially you. Just relax. You're getting a little old. You don't need to be doing this out here, alright? I get it. Jeff Hardy has a title match, and nobody wants to see that. But Matt, you anywhere near the TNA World Heavyweight title, nobody wants to see that either. What this company needs, what this business needs, is a miracle. Man, when I become TNA World Heavyweight Champion, I'm gonna be giving these people a miracle. But not these idiots out here that boo me. All the people who ask themselves, do you believe in miracles? And they all say in union, yes, we do. And then Rebby grabs the mic and says, you need to leave. This is my husband's moment. And then Maria says, excuse me? Then Rebby now says, no, no, fire crotch, excuse me. My husband is the greatest wrestler alive. And you, honey, don't know who you're messing with. And then Maria says, I am the first lady of professional wrestling. And do you even know what it's like to be a lady? And then Rebby now gets all pissed off, and she says, I know what it's like to put my earring in your face, and then she's being all cranky and shit, pulling off her earring. And then Matt Hardy says, Mike, in theory, you could possibly be my friend, but it's very obvious you don't have any respect. You don't have any honor. There is a hierarchy around here. There's a pecking order and you are down there. And then Mike says, really? I'm all the way down there, huh, Matt? Listen, Matt, I used to have a lot of respect for you, but the key word is I used to. You're gonna be a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, but right now, you're just an old washed up. And then Matt Hardy now says, I get it. I get it. This little insignificant nobody is just as bad as EC3. And I come out here tonight looking for a fight, and if you wanna get in my face and question my greatness, then I'll fight you. And then EC3 comes out, and then, of course, more talking. EC3 says, coming this fall, following Schitt's Creek. I skipped two of his lines that he said because I didn't quite understood what he was saying, so I just skipped them. But he said, and then he said, coming this fall, following Schitt's Creek, Rockstar Spot is Larry. Tyrus is Kirby. Or Curly, sorry. Matt Hardy is Mo Howard. But Stooges they are not, because they are EC3's three bitches. So Bennett, I guess that makes you Shemp? No, you are the miracle. Little known EC3 fact. I am an 8-time Ultra Boy of the Year. I have a pretty good rapport with the man upstairs, so I think I'm gonna talk to the big guy for real fast. Dear Lord of professional wrestling, please find a place in the afterlife for the career of Mike Bennett. For Mike Bennett has tried to spite me and make a name of me, but he has only angered me. And when I do get my hands on Mike Bennett, I will put him straight. I will put him through a personal and spiritual hell, therefore ending his career. So, Amen. Talking, talking, talking. And then Mike says, you know what your problem is? You think you're funny? All you're trying to do is appeal to these idiots out here. You know what the fact is? You know what the truth is? I don't need TNA. TNA needed me. Which is true, by the way, just in case you don't know. And then he says, so you know what? I decide when and where I'm gonna fight. And guess what, Ethan? Tonight I am not gonna fight. And then EC3 says, well, that prerogative. I'm sure you have other plans like getting another $4 haircut. But EC3, I am gonna fight tonight. In fact, I'm not gonna leave the ring till I have a fight right now. And then Matt says, okay, you wanna fight? You're out here making all these cute jokes about me and the most dominant brand in all of professional wrestling. How about this for a fight? How about EC3 versus Spot versus Tyrus versus Rebby and versus the iconic Matt Hardy right here tonight, and we'll see who's bitch. EC3 then says Matt Hardy, Spot, Tyrus and Rebby. Well, at least one of you has some balls. Challenge accepted. And then they go into a fight. There isn't much to say about this match, you know. The match ended up in a the match was pretty much disqualified because of Mike Bennett jumping in and attacking EC3, which made all of them attack EC3. But then, while that was happening, Beer Money came out. And James Storm then said, me and this man were sitting in the back counting some money and drinking some beer when we heard some big fight going on. Well, everybody pretty much know me and this man, we like to fight. And then Bobby Roode says, we don't have to stop the fight. I say we keep this fight going because you see these three guys right here, we're ready for a fight. I'm gonna play matchmaker. Tonight we're gonna have ourselves a six-man tag. EC3 and Beer Money versus you three. And we're gonna do that right now. So that fight happened as well. Beer Money won. Hold on for a second. Yeah, Beer Money won the match. It was an okay match. Not too much to say about that as well. Um, and then we get a backstage segment with JB and Gil Kim. Gil Kim says, for the past 2 months I've been dying to get my hands on Maria. And what happened? She did what she does best. She talked. She talked her way out of the match. She somehow convinced TNA management to let her give up that spot and now Jade's #1 contender. I did a little talking of my own. And I convinced TNA management to have a match tonight. So coming up next, we're gonna have another #1 contenders match. And then the match is pretty much Velvet Sky against versus Madison Ray. And then we go to a backstage segment with the bromance. This was real quick stuff. Pretty much bromance, just saying that they're back and that they're gonna be a little more darker and all that. It also involved Eli Drake, coming in, tell them this and that, that Eli Drake has better stuff to do, and that sort kind of stuff. Nothing much. And then we get the match between Velvet Sky and Madison Rain. This match kind of bored the hell out of me. I don't have much to say about this match. It was really stale and boring. Madison won, so that's pretty much about it. It was a really weak match, really boring. Uh, I mean, yeah, Velvet Sky isn't all that good of a wrestler. Madison Rain, she can do a lot more, but from time to time she's. And then we go to commercial. I'll come back, and then we see Pope going to the ring. Also, he's gonna do some talking. Pope says, I got a lot on my mind right now. I got a lot that I want to say and that I want to get off my chest. I sat over there, I looked back over the past couple of weeks, and it's funny because Pope is going from being that happy go Pope to that bad go get 'em Pope. What that means is this, Daddy. We all know that when Pope is good, Pope is great, but when Pope is bad, Pope is better. And it's for that reason and that reason alone that Pope is standing right here in the center of this ring. It's for that reason that Pope stood up and did what he felt was the right thing to do for his partner, because Pope has to be Pope, and it's time for Pope to be the man that you all know Pope to be. And then Lashley comes out. Lashley says, did you just say let a man be a man? Pope, you're not a man. You're an announcer. You gave up your man card a long time ago. But then you snuck in the ring and stuck your nose into my business. So I'm gonna ask you one thing. I want you to apologize, and then I want you to go sit behind that table and do what you're supposed to do before I get in that ring and hurt you really bad. Pope then says, pay attention to me when I'm talking to you, because when I'm because when I look back through the years, Bobby, you and Pope go way back. We started in this industry together. Our friendship, our bond is beyond this. So I thought you and I, Daddy, started at the bottom and now we're here, but somewhere along the way, all of you didn't come. Because if you think for one sec that Pope is gonna apologize, you're wrong. I'm not gonna regret what I said. I've been through this lifetime and I've carried no regrets. I have been in movies, I've been in TV shows, Hell, I've wrestled and shared this ring with the greatest wrestlers of all time. And then Bobby asks him what he's saying, and then Pope says, what I'm saying is simply this: as much as Pope loves his announcer chair over there, if I if I went back over to that chair right now, I'd regret for a lifetime. So the reason that I'm in this ring is just like I said, to be that Pope, to be the man that these people have always known Pope to be. So, Daddy, Lashley, I'm calling you out for a fight. And then Bobby says, you wanna fight me? Kurt wanted to fight me, and you don't see Kurt anymore. Think about what you're saying, because if you fight me, I'm gonna hurt you really bad. So I'm gonna give you another chance to get out of this damn ring, or I'm gonna do the same thing I did to you and your little friend over there. Get out of my ring right now before I hurt you. And then Pope says, on second thought, I think you need to get out of this ring. And then they start to brawl, they start to fight. And of course security came out and broke them up, and then we go into commercial. And then come back and Eric Young and Bram come out. Eric Young now says, I want you to look into my eyes. I want you to know that I've never been this serious in my entire life. You're looking at the most dangerous man in professional wrestling. You're looking at the king. You're looking at God. I got everything going for me. And then last week we had a bump in the road, didn't we, Bram? We had a little speed bump, didn't we, Bram? I get it, it's every man for himself, right? Everyone wants to be the world champion. Everyone wants to be me. So what I'm gonna do now is sit back and watch Jeff Hardy win the world title, my world title, and then I'm gonna take it from him. I'm gonna take his belt, I'm gonna take his career, I might even take his life. I'm gonna do what I want to do, to who I want, when I want, and then the bromance come out. So the bromance pretty much came out just to challenge Eric Young and Bram. The match was okay. Um, it's pretty obvious that Jesse Goddard is a way better wrestler, or should I say a cleaner wrestler than Robbie E. Robbie E is comedy gold as much as Eric Young. I like Robbie E, but Jesse Goddard is a better wrestler. I love the drop kicks that Jesse Goddard does. He does his drop kicks really high and really clean. Kind of reminds me of Okada. The way that guy does his drop kicks is just, no one does it like him. And then we get a backstage segment which featured Grado and Shira. They pretty much talk about how they're gonna celebrate Grado getting his contract and all of that. But then Al Snow walks to them, and then Al Snow starts to beat the hell out of Grado. So apparently this whole thing is still going on, where Al Snow just doesn't want Grado in the company. So I'm guessing next week we're gonna find out a little bit more about that. And then we go to the ring, and then we see Trevor Lee, PWG's own favorite, who is now the X Division, with Shane Helms, of course. I'm not gonna say much about this. I'm just gonna quicken things up. So this segment was pretty much Shane Helms calling out Eddie Edwards and giving him an offer, and that offer is so that those two team up and wrestle for the tag team champions, seeing that Davey is out because of injury. So that's kind of what this whole thing is all about, and he gives him a week to think about it, blah blah. So this had nothing to do with Trevor Lee fighting someone next week, or even about the X Division. And then we go to another backstage segment with Pope And this had pretty much to do with Pope calling out Bobby Lashley. He wants to fight Bobby Lashley next week. It shouldn't be it's gonna be probably a no disqualification or a false count anywhere. I think it's just a no disqualification because if it was a false count anywhere, then the referees would be involved, and he doesn't want any referee involved. So it's gonna be a false count and sorry, no disqualification or just a street fight, I assume. And after that, we get the Jeff Hardy versus Drew match. Now this match was a good match. I really enjoyed this match. Of course, every time Jeff Hardy is in the ring, you can expect him to do some crazy shit, which he did. By the way, he did a swanton on Drew, but Drew apparently raised his knees, so he landed on his knees, and that really must have hurt because I kind of felt that. So I don't think Drew was really acting hurt. I think he really was feeling a bit pain because I mean he literally landed on Drew his knees. But this match was a really good match. I really enjoyed this match. Of course, I mean it's Jeff Hardy, so of course you're gonna get a good match. But during the match, after Drew won, yeah, Drew won by the way. After Drew won, Matt Hardy came out, basically just telling Drew that he's gonna fight him next week and this and that. And also, Eric Young and Bram jumped Jeff Hardy, so they pretty much started fighting. And then they got the upper hand, so Jeff started talking and saying that he is gonna fight Eric Young in a 6 sides of steel next week. And of course, when Jeff Hardy is in the 6 sides of steel, you can expect there is a 50% chance that this guy is gonna do another crazy shit because that's just Jeff Hardy. That's what the guy is known most for. He is always gonna do some crazy shit. So I expect it to be next week. I expect next week to be a better show, but um, the rating I give the show from last week was a 5. This show I'm gonna give a 6.5 out of 10 because of the main event. Because the other matches weren't so great, and once again there was way too much talking. Actually, there was a lot more talking this time than last week, I think. But yeah, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. You would think there would be less talking, knowing that Drew kind of said there will be more action and all of that, but of course that's not gonna happen. This is mainstream wrestling. That's what you're gonna get in mainstream wrestling. A lot of talking, a lot of promos, backstage segments, and that is also one of the reasons why a lot of pro wrestling fans, such as myself, rather just watch independent wrestling or New Japan or Mexican wrestling because you don't have all this talking and entertainment stuff. But that's just about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. The show, it was an okay show. It's not like I didn't enjoy the show, by the way. I did. I enjoy every TNA show, um but it's then again you gotta be a critic sometimes, because not because you're a TNA fan that means you're gonna like everything they do. Come on, you know. But that's just pretty much about it. Hit the like button if you like my review, subscribe if you want to, share if you feel like sharing, and I will see you on the next TNA show. I'm out.